Well, this is kind of a strange way to start the day, but guess who's getting a second season? That's right, Velma, which makes the behavior of Mindy Kaling rather strange because, as I reported yesterday, she's deleting tweets. She's been silent, hasn't said anything. But guess what? Season 2 is happening for Velma, which is funny. This show is not well received. Okay, you look at the IMDb. It's at 1.4 out of 10, making it one of the worst shows on IMDb. That's a very hard feat to accomplish. And then the Rotten Tomatoes, I went over a bunch of times, 7%. The critics hate it as well. The show is awful. In the last episode, Fred's mother gets killed and Velma twerks over the body. This is supposed to be funny. And it's not just this show that's getting a second season. Mindy Kaling's getting more work. This is the problem with modern Hollywood. So, this is coming from Channing Dungey, who is the head of Warner Brothers Television Group. She started in 2020. Oh, no, she started her tenure at the studio in January 2021. Zaslav needs to fire this person. I'm looking at these decisions and thinking, what the hell is wrong with you? Look at her credits as a producer, too, by the way. Queen of the Damned, awful, awful movie. Not much else. Very small resume, if this is it. 4 shows produced, but hey, why don't you head up my studio? So, this is how we know that this show is happening. There's a big, long interview with Deadline here, going over the shows that this woman is creating. I see the new Night Court in there. I didn't even know that was real. Night Court's a show from like the 80s. And they brought that back. I don't know if it's good or not. But all the way down at the end of this article, and it's a long article. We'll go over some of it. You go down to the end. Here's where it is. Up next for Warner Brothers TV on the comedy side are How to Be a Bookie, starring Sebastian Maniscalco, Lori's first show for HBO Max, which had its first table read last week. The Sex Lives of College Girls, which was renewed for a 3rd season. Dungey's team is working on a 2nd season of Scooby-Doo spinoff Velma, an animated adult comedy that comes from Kaling and Charlie Grandy. That was the streamer's most-watched animated series debut ever. Okay, so the streamer's most-watched animated debut. Is that a huge accomplishment or something? I wish. Where are the numbers for this show if they're so proud of it? I can't wait to see what this show actually had for viewership. Those Nielsen ratings got to be coming soon. And I want to see more than the first week. I want to see the 2nd and 3rd week also. But there you go. Most watched animated series debut ever, getting a 2nd season. So I was looking at this a little bit last night. And I wanted some more details. This is it. There's no other details on it than this. But this is the head of Warner Brothers television studios. So I'm inclined to think that she knows what they're making. So it is coming, and now everyone's making headlines on it. Movie Web, Velma Season 2, now in the works at HBO Max. The behavior of Mindy Kaling said that this show was not doing well. But I guess, then why did she delete her tweets about this show? Was she getting a lot of shit on them? Maybe that's what it was. Maybe people were on there dunking on her. This show, for all intents and purposes, is awful. There's a couple people here and there that are like, yeah, I like the show. But I'm just not seeing it. Even woke people hate this show. The target audience of this show hates it. It's a really bad show. So I am kind of baffled by this. Now, some people like to point out, well, I'll show there's people making videos on it. The videos on this show get a maximum of 1 to 300,000 views. That's not enough for a show to survive. Ask Batwoman, because that was Batwoman's ceiling. Batwoman's canceled. A show like this needs much more than a couple 100,000 people. And it's really 100,000. I'm just trying to weigh in maybe people that make content that's larger than me, maybe get larger views. Like, It's a Gundam. I think his videos do very well on this. He's covered it a few times. So it's not enough people to make this show a success. And you're highly overestimating the power of normies who don't watch any of the videos that any of us make on this. This would mean that there is a large audience of people that actually enjoy this show and tune in for it, which is wild to me, because this is, without a doubt, one of the worst shows I've ever seen. It's up there with Rings of Power. So I'm kind of blown away by this, I have to say. Didn't see this one coming. Mindy Kaling's getting more work too, by the way, which is wild to me because she's literally not talented. Her shows are not funny, but she's apparently getting a bunch of work at Amazon as well, which is blowing me away. Like, she's got a bunch of shit in the works. For Dungy, there's a few different sides of the comedy coin. There's slightly more traditional sitcoms for broadcast networks and for streaming and premium cable, including new projects in the works at Amazon from Mindy Kaling and Hacks creator. I don't know anything about Hacks. I know Mindy Kaling's a hack. Maybe she should be on Hacks. This just blows me away. So that's the story. The chairman and CEO of Warner Brothers Television Group. So, looks like it's going to give me a lot of content, so it'll work out. I mean, this show's been so bad, I've been able to make a ton of content on it because it gets worse even when the show is not on. There's shit to talk about. So, I guess we'll look forward to that. How many seasons of this show will there be? But there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Season 2 is coming. What do you think about that? Are you shocked? Because I was. I'm blown away by this. I mean, this is literally the definition of wasting money. Anyway, let me know in the comments what you think. Also, if you would, please like, subscribe, share the video. Make sure you're still subscribed. Hit that notification bell. Check out my Rumble and Locals, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace. Make sure to check out my Locals. There's a link in the description. It's a fun community that I'm trying to build over here. If you don't want to support me on YouTube, you can come over here. None of that money goes to YouTube. You also can just come over here for free. But if you are a supporter over here, I do plan on doing an extra live stream once a month and throwing links to the supporters so you can actually come on and have a supporter live stream with me. Also, it's a good place to catch all of my content. You don't have to worry about notifications like YouTube. They'll definitely work over here. So come check out my Locals.